Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hip Hop Point of View, we involved. Hip Hop Then and Now. We Talking Magazine. That's the play right now. Let me put it in there and put my pen on. Make sure everybody in the building. Super love to We Talking Magazine. Tilsa, we back at it. Hip Hop Then and Now. We got Hynaken from Bag Fuel. This is 50. Super knowledgeable industry insider. Ready to give us his idea of what's going on. Let's rock and roll. Keisha, what up? How you doing out there? What's the weather like out there? Jesus Christ. As you know, it's freezing out here. What you doing out there? Hope it ain't t-shirt weather out there. I would hope not. Let's get to it. About then and now. Oh, it's ugly out there. Really? Okay. I'm not mad then. I'm not mad at all. You know, not hating on you. I'm just not mad. Not mad at all. Sweatsuits and tennis shoes for me? Okay. We could do that, but it's just got to be with a little bubble. You know what I mean? We got to put a little bubble vest on. That's all that is. Keisha, we got a whole Cali lineup coming up for Hip Hop Then and Now. So Tilsa tapping in Cali. And y'all showing love, so we appreciate it, just to let you know. This is going to be a whole Cali lineup. A couple of East Coast cats, but Cali is in the building heavy. So we appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? All day. Those of you who caught the information, you know, November is officially Hip Hop History Month. Appreciate you too, Keish. Yeah, Hip Hop History Month. So, you know, I don't know how that plays out. Do we need a parade? I think we need a parade, personally. I know November's kind of cold, but we need a little parade. You know, some type of big to do for Hip Hop History Month. That's just my play. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. K-Boy coming through. Yeah, we're gonna talk to him. You know, get into some of the Cali history back then. Platinum Love, what up? How you doing? What's the verdict? So let's get involved, man. We rocking at 6 o'clock. We got a bunch of guests. We got Houston DJ Chaotic. We got K-Boy coming out of Cali. We got we're looking for Pudgy the Fat Bastard. That's my guy. We talking to him. We talking to Queen out of Cali as well. So we got a nice little lineup. You know what I mean? We didn't confirm everybody else, but you know, as we move along, if you see the flyer, you know what it is. It's shaking and moving. If not, then we in slow-mo. But definitely I agree with a parade. I think we should do a parade. I think it should be a big event. Definitely in urban schools, you know, in our urban neighborhoods, you know, there should be some type of Hip Hop History Month criteria. Some type of celebration for Hip Hop Then and Now. But like Kanye said, you know, Black History Month, we should have a Black Future Month. I think the same with hip hop. We should have a Hip Hop Future Month as well. Hynaken, what up? We on you, baby. Let me get you in here. And then we shaking and moving. See how this see how this goddamn reception going. Yep.
Yo.
What up, champ?
I'm hyped, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Please, bro. Please, man. We are first of all honored. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege. You taking time out the day, rocking and rolling.
Go,
You know.
man.
And,
I like it too. You got me looking real skinny in the back.
you know what I'm saying? I got you in the background. You know, nice and heavy. You know what I mean? They can know. They can go see your work.
Love it, man. Man, look, how you feeling on a Tuesday evening, man? You could be
Yeah,
anywhere.
we could have been anywhere else, right? But we here, we chopping it up. You know, it's been a decent weekend. We're gonna try to keep it a cool out week. You know what I mean? Day by day, get to it. You
All right,
already know.
let's
So
go.
talk to me. Talk to me about the chinky eyed photo. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, he got mixed with Asian. Hold on. What's
That
going on?
um,
The model photo.
now
Talk
that
to me, Hynaken.
eyes naturally do that. I don't know who I get it from because
Mm,
a couple of people in my family's eyes do that. It's
mm,
and a couple of like out of all the numbers, I just happen to be one of the few that do that. Sometimes
mm,
it ain't. From what I know, I'm just straight Haitian right now, and I don't know, on my mother's side, it might be mixed with a whole bunch of fuckery. Who knows?
mm. Okay. I said this dude just went Asian on me. But shout to Tilsa We Talking Magazine. She said, yo, let's get the seasoned knowledgeable Hynaken on here. You know, the industry insider.
Yeah,
And kind of get him on the hot seat with some questions about hip hop then and
go
now.
let's go for it.
You know what
Let's
I'm
have
saying?
anything
We're
you
gonna
want.
get we're gonna get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, in terms of hip hop then and now, right?
Mm.
What do you think about the verses? What do you think about these artists from our classic days, right? Now entering this digital performing world and making their way into these younger generations' view. What do you think?
I love it for millions of reasons. One, for a
Mhm,
financial standpoint, because this
mhm,
in the hip hop realm, it's very unforgiving. You have a very short shelf life. So it's tough to see a person get a 4 or 5 year run, and then next thing you know, our culture's laughing at them. Oh, you're broke. You had a hit single. So
Facts.
right there allows them to get money. As you can
Mhm,
see, when she did the verses, his streaming numbers went up by like 50,000% or whatever the ridiculous sum number is.
mhm,
Oh,
mhm,
family. That's one. One of my favorite subjects was history when I was in school. I like knowing about things that came before me. And in this hip hop culture, we don't tend to do research. We're very in the space of now and whatever's going forward. So for people to see these artists, to see them in their prime, to see what a hit record sounds like, to see what a great performance sounds like, that's
mhm.
also, um another thing too. We like to put a time capsule on our hip hop superheroes.
Mhm.
We'll say, "Oh, this is old. We don't hit." So to see Jada, who's closer to 50, I don't want to, put the number out there, but
He on the other side. He on the other side.
he keeps in shape. He
Mhm,
keeps fresh. With the Timbs, nobody's acting funny. Now he gets to connect to the 17-year-olds, the 18
mhm.
year while still connected to the people that felt the music when they were. So I enjoy what the Versus is doing on those three components from a money standpoint, from a history standpoint, and from a legitimacy standpoint and reintroduction standpoint.
I concur on all of those. That is, just to see, you know, to see your history, right? To see what you was
Love
raised on, right? To see, if you got children, they get to see also, what you were playing, who they were. You know what I mean? The only thing I get it. Time has elapsed and people have evolved. But if I was Kane, I would have had the four finger ring on. I would have had the rope chain with the Cleopatra piece at least one time. You know what I'm saying? I'd have just came out with that just to, that's again, like you said, the history. I'm gonna show you who Kane was and how far he's. I would have did that personally.
I don't know. You know, there are people like I've had to learn. There's some
Mm-hmm.
people that enjoy speaking on their history and their past. There's
Mm-hmm.
that's always forward, never backwards. So he might.
Mm-hmm.
I was mid-20s when I did that. I'm in my mid-50s. I don't give a fuck about
Yeah, yeah.
it. And I
I could tell that.
know that
Mm-hmm.
giving you the perspective of people who I've been around. I've been
Mm-hmm.
fortunate and privileged to be around people who have great resumes and
Mm-hmm.
they don't like to, they rather just be like, we're going forward.
They don't
And
want to look
shouts
back at it. Okay.
um
That makes sense,
co
though. That makes sense. I'm going to show you who I am now and who I've become. That makes sense. Now,
yeah.
as far as I know, you guys, super love to bag fuel. You guys really are at some point of the show really trying to, if not the whole show, trying to educate, trying to enlighten, trying to inspire artists, producers, any business people of any genre. But I'm pretty sure it's predominantly hip hop and R&B. But where do you feel hip hop business is going from back then, where there was so much, industry rule 3000 2080, right? What do you feel? How do you think it's going now? How do you feel hip hop business is going now?
If it was going pretty, it's the money is a lot harder to hide. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more I wouldn't people are more aware, but it's not at a high number. It's not at a high value. So the business is still people get away with shit. We just about Summer Walker's business contract, how for every 1 million streams she gets $600. So
Mm-hmm.
like McDonald's paycheck if you work 40 hours.
Yeah. You
So,
got Megan's contract, like so many contracts that.
yeah. So they still, the business side of the game, we have
Mhm,
in the hip hop world glamorous. There's no
mhm,
business person in hip hop that everybody says, I like the way how they do business. The closest
mhm,
thing we had to pour champagne on when and wild out, and people still in all the business practice. We don't get to see the intimate details of a dude negotiating a business deal, closing business, making
mhm,
money. The problem with the hip hop realm, in order for people to learn this business, we need to create a collection of young dudes and celebrate them. Just like in the Jewish community, they celebrate the lawyers. They might not be on profile. They're like, that's a great lawyer. Boom. We don't celebrate the great business people in hip hop
true. That's very true.
that have all the knowledge. We just be like, oh well, you're not lit, you're not famous, you ain't popping bottles.
Mhm,
If we start getting that, and then we don't listen. It's hard. A lot of these people in the hip hop culture, we don't listen, and I listen a little better than a normal person, but I'm
mhm,
hard headed. So you got people that ain't know this game.
mhm, mhm. In and out.
I
They
know.
know the game in and out.
Salute to my man,
Absolutely.
and they be thinking they know this game.
Mhm,
How you know this game? You ain't. That's like saying I know the NBA. You don't know you in the NBA till you play against
mhm,
real NBA, and then
mhm.
am I really in this game or not?
I like what you said about you know people that aren't listening because
Not at all,
right. Yeah, they come in. We're from these disenfranchised neighborhoods, and we're taught to puff your chest out and act like you the man, but you ain't really do nothing. So
right?
that's the thing. So you bring that to business, you bring that to, your profession, you bring that to your practices, and next thing you know, like you said, we're still making these mistakes. And like you said, I like that the money's there, but we ain't closed the gap as much as we should have in the last 20 to 30 years of information and contracts and lawyers and
Mm-hmm.
we should be closing the gap more. I agree with that.
Yeah, and this, we're not reading enough. There's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of books that can help us understand the business practice, the tactics, the negotiating maneuvers that's going on, and things of that nature. That's why Bag Fuel was created with Esso and I. There was
Mm-hmm.
bumping heads a lot, and to go in the next stage of our careers together. And but there's a lot of things that we're similar about. So we know how to put our egos aside to really reform and come back as elect. And we were like, yo, there's a lot of knowledge that we give to the people and make it cool and fun at the same time. That was my thing. I always told Esso, I said, if these dudes don't think it's cool and fun, they don't give a fuck. And perfect example is when we talked about back in the day, nobody cared about being a stockbroker.
Hell no.
What were girls going for? Drug dealers or stockbrokers?
Exactly.
So GameStop switched that when, you know, the numbers was going crazy because of all the LinkedIn, and girls were like, yo, this dude right here just made 70 bands just by investing a quick 4 bands, and he's now it looks cool to finesse on that level because we made it look cool. But the stock market's been around for over 100 years, if not longer.
And it's never cool. But you know what else is fantastic about the culture and about, people like you and SO is that the fact that you're talking about these things automatically makes it cool, because once people can see like-faced, like-minded people, having knowledge about the business, you're going to tune in, right? You want to hear what someone say as opposed to your counterpart. And your counterparts are talking about it. They're talking in legalese. You don't really understand.
Yeah.
But when y'all two are talking about it, y'all like, nah, that part of the contract is terrible. Like, you need to dead that.
And the thing is too, we're not gonna pump fake you. If I don't know, I don't know. Some dudes will pretend to know just because they don't want to look like their value's been diminished. I'll give you as an abundant amount of information that I know up until a certain point. If you ask me, I don't know this, I'll direct you to this person that knows. So, if we close this deal, let's get it going. You know what I mean? And we shot an episode of Matt Hoffa's My Opinion, and Esso was there holding me down, but there's a part of the episode that's gonna come up where we talking about NFTs. And they were like, you guys know about it, and we were giving them great insight to it because we sat down with a bunch of Italians and Russians, and they were giving us the game, and we had to give them the game, but we were like, hey, this is the play that's going on, and this is what's happening, and let's go for it. And they were like, oh, we feel the connection now. A lot of people are feeling the disconnect.
Yeah, that's a whole different language when we talking about it. When it comes to like, especially from a business perspective, it was important back then to be at the labels, to have your rhyme ready, to have a decent demo, to get close to who was on, right? And that was kind of like the format, particularly in New York, right? And people from other states were coming to New York to follow that format.
Yeah.
What do you think is important for artists now to get on? Like, what do you feel is most a priority to get on now as opposed to back then?
You're going to need people who are very digitally inclined. First, you need some money. And the reason why you need the money, because this game has shifted in such a way that you got to cheat at a different level. Now, people get offended when I use the word cheating, but everyone is cheating in this business. They're just making it like happening organically. No, let's get it out. They got people behind the scenes that are making things happen, and they're like, it happened organically. Fuck out of here. So you need some money to certain things to happen, because this pandemic shut down the country for 2 years. Ain't nobody doing shit for free. Yo, shoot this video for me. When I get you, you're on. No. You're going to pay me because my bitch is behind my back or my kid needs formula. You need that. You need digitally advanced people, because when I first started doing things on YouTube, it was easy to get 1,000,000 hits if you had the
Mm.
bell
Mm.
blast, you had the right amount of subscribers. Now YouTube has set up these pages in such a way, no matter how great your video is, they can hide your video. So
Mm.
in order to avoid that, you need to know key terminologies, key words, key
Mm.
phrases, unlock the potentiality of your art being seen. Because now, let me show you the shift in the past 10 years. When we used to watch video, we would watch it on a desktop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we would get home, whatever, at 6 and go through our whole evening and watch it. And if you ever watched it on your phone, people thought you were a fiend. You can't wait to get home. Now everyone watches it on their phone. And if I told you I'm going to wait till I get home to watch it on my computer, you're going to think I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
So that's how much content now. You got to know where the eyeballs are at, and I feel like you need to pack everything. Radio still matters. YouTube matters. TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram still matters. LinkedIn matters. You still need to meet people as well. I think because you can form a camaraderie with people very candidly and organically. Social media dudes now don't feel like they need to be around people as much. They feel like, hey, if I put up 3 posts on Instagram, I did my work for the day. And I
Mm-hmm.
know because I've done that dumb shit.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. Those are some of the things you need to focus on now in terms of getting music out there. Really, your social, how you present. Audience is so sophisticated. You can't throw no trash out there. They got to look good. They got to sound good. They got to be good because otherwise you got these people investing a click in you. To that, what's to follow? Website too. You need to get your merch up. You need to become a brand. You got to get your personality up. Everything.
Yeah. The total package is being focused on as opposed to back then. Like you didn't have to have merch. Like you didn't have to have all that. You didn't have to be necessarily brand savvy. Now they trying to pick you up as polished as possible. That makes sense.
I'm not mad at it neither because hey, back then 50,000 was a lot of money. Now, if your rent is 3,000 a month, that's 60% of your budget.
Yeah, it's a different type of conversation. How about for you, right? I know
Yeah.
coming up. So give me an example. What do you remember as like your first hip hop cultural experience, whether it be fashion or music or you know or dancing? Like what do you remember as your first hip hop experience?
I mean, my mind is scattered, so I'll give you moments that matter.
Mm,
I remember when my parents would go to work and they would leave me with the neighbor,
mm,
and then the neighbor was an older lady. It was a grandmother, and then all
mm,
the kids were older than me, and I was into watching cartoons. Like, no, we watching video music. All
mm,
right, cool. So that sticks out to how it would be on that channel, and it would
mm.
sit there waiting intently for that song to come on because you don't have the access like we did on our phone to pull up YouTube and watch it.
Thanks. Thanks.
And if you missed that song and your fans called you and you said, yo, you fucking up. Think about when Ether dropped. That wasn't that many years ago. And people like, you heard that Ether? And then they're about to play it again. Sit in your car. That was another hip hop moment. Was sitting in your car waiting. Could you
Mhm.
imagine telling a girl we can't go nowhere? We gotta wait.
Yeah, pull over.
Yeah. Another moment is when Wu-Tang hit. Girls draw the Wu-Tang sign on the wall.
Mm, mm,
Feel me? That was a moment. Now
mm,
when he did the song with Lauryn Hill, and I started seeing how people were like, "Whoa, this is a vibe." If I were hitting different,
Mm.
Money Cash Hoes, people from Jay-Z, people don't understand what that song did for him because it put him in a different stratosphere too. That was a moment because I remember being in Brooklyn and every dude was trying to get their driver's license so they could drive around in the GS 300.
Let's say that.
Another moment, you know, when 50 Cent came out with The Realest Niggas with the Biggie Small sample. That was a Young Jeezy. I was living down south when I saw the South movement come.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, this shit about to hit. I was
Mm.
Little John. I saw what Little John did. So those moments stick out. I saw what Outkast was. I was there for all of that.
Mm.
DMX, that was a moment. Watching, I remember one of my cousins, he was dating some girl that lived in Marcy Project. And when we would ride around in the car, they barked like a dog. And I was like, yo, y'all fucking nuts. Why y'all barking like dog? Him and his girl. They're not together, of course, but that resonated. And then the mixtape era. My thing was we never in New York appreciated mixtapes.
And the classics that were on the breakthrough tracks. Like, yo, you heard that?
Yeah.
You heard Dude on that? Yeah, I remember those days.
Because one of the things is when we have the mixtapes, we used to go out of town a lot. And we would go through Canada and we would play the songs and the girls coming because they're like, so
those are new joints, yeah.
Yeah. So
those are interesting moments. I gotta say, you know, as I hear those moments,
yeah,
you know, I know I'm not as close to, you know, the culture because my time isn't as free as when I was younger.
yeah,
But
all good. That's life.
But I don't remember. I don't like in the last 5 years. I can't say I remember a moment like that. You know, where like something hit like that.
I give you a moment more than 5 years. It might have been 5 when Drake dropped back to back. I learned William Wesley. You can never check me. And when I was like, I had to learn who William Wesley was. Esso taught me.
Who's William Wesley?
And when I tell you this,
I don't even know who that is.
Do you follow basketball?
Absolutely.
All right. You notice when Drake used to be at the Kentucky games all the time?
Yeah.
That's because of Worldwide West, who's consultant for the New York Knicks, and that's how come they've been able to bring all the Kentucky talent, all the young basketball players, and all the connections, and he was bringing them to these schools and bringing them to Kentucky, and he was giving Drake plays that he used in his business sense. So Worldwide West is William Wesley. So why the Knicks are good. That's why Drake is always like bluegrass, always at Kentucky. That's the connection. So this is so when the back-to-back hits a little bit different. So that was a moment right there. You feel me? I remember it around the truck like, oh shit, yo, Meek, fight.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That it was significant for me because, you know, when you talk about battles from rappers, it's usually some type of, you know, not fake, but I would say some type of street cred associated with it. Yeah, so when they respond or they go back, you know what you about to hear. You kind of feel the energy. But with Drake, you kind of knew he was clean cut. So you was like, this ain't his lane. And were we so wrong when we heard that track? Like, oh no, this is his pocket too. He can go there as well.
Yeah, and so loves the battle rap culture a lot more than people would know. Weird to me, but I get it. I've been around the battle culture, whatever.
So yeah, I agree with that. So here's a very interesting question. So back then, you know, who did you look up to in hip hop back then as opposed to who you look up to now? Who were you looking up to or wanted to be like when you were first watching hip hop?
It wasn't the rappers, it was the producers.
Mm,
Timbaland, Neptunes, Swiss Beats,
mm,
into how people put songs together. And that time I came up in the era where producers were getting a lot of light. And I'm not a rapper, so I
mm,
want to look at people who can make things happen that I play too. Because
mm,
rapper, I can't look up to no rapper. I can admire the bravado, I can admire the body language, the representation, but I'm not a street nigga. So go do to live up to what they're rhyming about. That don't fucking make sense. All the dudes that I've seen in the streets, the only ones that made it out were the ones that let all the other boys go to the slaughter, and then they ended up getting regular jobs. So my man Shaq, very legendary hip hop dude. His family has done a lot of legendary things in the hip hop community. I don't like saying who his family is, but they're very powerful. A lot
mm,
of artists are not discovered. Like Busta Rhymes is not who he is without his family.
mm.
50 Cent owes his family a lot too. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
yeah.
So who do you back then you were looking up to the producers, and I remember we talking before. You were into production
Mm-hmm.
originally doing that stuff, so I could see that connection.
And
But now,
I was into sports too. I like the
mm,
athletic position. I was
mm,
Deion Sanders, his arrogance. So all those types of players, sports, yeah, all of that.
and then now you find yourself looking up to who do you
Um,
look up to now?
I don't know honestly. Like, I think because I'm older now and I've seen for a different. I can be motivated by seeing people put in work more so than
Mm,
them
mm,
and shit. I've been a little bit jaded. I've been around these people now
mm.
on a legitimate level for 13. So
13 plus. Okay, I can see that.
I
So how about mentors? How about mentors? Who do you see as like a hip hop mentor now, if you have any?
I mean, if I'm gonna be frank, make SO
Mm, okay.
because of he has knowledge of the game that people could never fathom. Um,
Mm,
that's on the check-in right now. I
mm,
think that who are giving me game. So SO is giving me game. AB, 50 Cent has, even though his game that it's very indirect. He'll give you indirect game. Just you're smart enough to pick it up, or you're just a face value dude that just sees the potato. You don't that.
yeah. So you got to read between the lines. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not
Gotcha.
an indirect dude. He wants to see, is this guy a smart motherfucker or not?
Who am I dealing with?
Yeah.
Mm,
It's so many. Oh God, it's so deep like that. Because
mm,
even with you and speaking, I'd be like, yo, I got game from you as well. So I don't. Everybody that's ever given me the opportunity to communicate with them,
mm.
I.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and I'm a kind of close it out with this. Who do you, not who do you, how do you feel about where hip hop is going right now? Do
I,
you feel the culture is healthy? You feel the culture is healthy? It
I,
needs a checkup. You
I mean,
know, it needs a death. It's on its deathbed. What do you feel?
nah. Here's the thing, man. I think people need to. I used to have a job back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to train a lot of people in this job.
Mm-hmm.
And they always used to say, how do you train these people so well
Mm-hmm.
that I never forgot what it was like being a new person on the job. So I always back. So a lot of the complaints I see a lot of the older dudes have about the younger generation, oh, how they dress, how their hair look, this, that. That's what the people that grew up on jazz had about Busta Rhymes. Yo, his hair is crazy. Woo ha! And us being in the culture at that time, We didn't look at that as crazy. Yo, Jay-Z, why does he have these big ass gold chains and this weird high top with cuts in his eyebrows? And he's talking about shooting niggas. This is weird. The world is going to the end. And
Absolutely.
I feel like we're being very, very much like our parents, not to say other, so, and we're not giving men the chance to really be men. And we're forgetting what it was like for us. And we need to give these young dudes the level of grace that wasn't given to us when we were coming up. So
Yeah.
we're going towards a better place. So I'm excited with the culture going there. Like, and I see what's going on with Travis Scott. I hope he goes through it because they're about to drag him through the coals. And I feel like, you know, it might help him elevate a little bit better. And
Yeah, we ain't gonna act like that wasn't happening at rock concerts. You know, peace and it's a tragedy nonetheless. But let's not act like this is the first time. You know, things happen. You know, that's why these big arenas are insured. These things happen, man.
it's very simple. It's a young black man. The boy CEO Chris Holder just came in. He said one of the most offensive things you can do is be a black man and win at the highest level for white. Because you notice if a black man does a scam that hurts nobody and he defunds or defrauds the government of the money, if he's white, he'll probably do 5 years. But if it's a black man that found a way to get millions from the government, he ain't doing less than 17 years.
Oh, he's getting hit.
Like, chill out, nigga.
Matter of fact, I got one for you. The white one might end up working for the government when he come out. How about that?
Remember the
Craziness.
movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can, Frank Abagnale,
Absolutely.
whatever his name was? Same thing. So
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But I like what you said that, you know, we gotta be, you know, we gotta stop the pedagogy of the oppressed. We gotta stop being hypocritical. You know, that's what young people do, right? They make mistakes. They explore what their creativity and mind is telling them. They create a new path. That's what it's a new path. They're young, the young path, a new path. So we just gotta guide them. You know, wrong is wrong, right is right, no matter what age you are. But I truly appreciate. So what's going on next? I know y'all shaking and moving.
okay, let's go. So right now, you know, I'm SO, Rico, and YK, and myself all partner together, management, music. So we're putting out all EP project, you know, the campaign. We're working on a name. We got a handful of records out right now. One is Switch, another What You Bring to the Table. And remember the live that Cardi B did saying all this music is depressing, all about the
Yeah.
This music is for the women. This music is for the guys that want to have fun. They have money. They're not talking about clubs. This ain't for the dirty niggas. Because right now, Lamar MF is bringing the dirty niggas back. I done that energy. I lived that life before. I'm good. You know, but now we're supposed to do record labels, and I forgot what I want to do with the song. But Switch is one of the records picking up. It's the first real record about sex. Real vibe, but it's catering to the women without the violence, and you know, women want to be able to have fun with these records without being judged.
Absolutely.
Another thing too, we're working on a couple of NFT projects that we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
Yo, Chris, he has a company called Cap where we do augmented reality figurine. So we're gonna incorporate those two worlds along with all our and things of that nature. It's a lot of money. Like, wow. I need that shit.
That's inspiring. I'm right behind you. That's inspiring talk right there. Are you doing any beats on the EP?
Shit, fuck it. You just gave me an idea. Why not?
I'm like, yeah. I mean, what we doing? What we doing?
I'm doing more. Frankly honest, but everything's in play. Everything's in play.
Okay.
So the records. We're just gonna feed the people real nice. We should be shooting the video for Switch, probably. You know, maybe in LA. That's the vibe we're going. So, um, also we got a movie coming out. I got a small role in a movie called Twerk because I was out there in Philly with Esso because he's the lead role. He plays Son Black, aggressive drug dealer out in Philadelphia. His baby mother and these women. So it's a lot of women empowerment, and they're robbing the shit because they don't think he respects women. He has to go on a war path. I played a long time shooter that nobody knows about yet, and they're gonna build out throughout the movie. We got that going on, the NFT, the music, bag. We're gonna revamp the YouTube page, redistribute the content more, way more in depth about the business, our personal lives, not on a supreme personal level, but I talk about all the things we've gone through, all the losses we've absorbed. I'm also tackling the food world, so something in the pizza world. I haven't figured it out yet. Well, I say, and I'm also into cars as well. So so make sure check out Bag Fuel. That's the show. Everything.
Let's go. Bag Fuel for sure. Great show. You know, congratulations, man. It's good to see y'all busy working, putting it together. You know, and I know the opportunities that you get, you'll create for other people. So, nigga, I hope y'all win. You know, anything y'all need to promote. I seen Esso on the video, but I wasn't sure. I was like, what? Did he just like? He's like in the intro, but he's not in the song after that. It was kind of like him intro in the joint.
Which video are you talking about?
Is just recently on his page. I think it was in his stories with two other cats.
Oh yeah, I mean shit. That might have been a new play that I don't even see. That's
okay. Yeah, I mean, let me know when I get the EP. Let me know. Put me on. I'm with it. Let me know, and we in there. You know what I mean? But Hynaken, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for taking the time. We Talking Magazine, Tilsa. We always here. You know, anything you need from us, please. You've done enough for us. You know, call that play anytime you need us.
And I just wanted the best piece of advice I could give right now. Just because you're older, that you can't learn from a younger person. Because the way this game is shifting, you're gonna need younger people around you. You're gonna have to embrace them. You're gonna have to, because right now, everyone's telling me discovering new music on TikTok.
Agreed. That's a fact. That's a full fact.
And I know you. I don't know. I'm not on TikTok like that. I'm on it, but I'm
not either.
Thank you. So that means more young.
I'm about to get on it now, though. After hearing that piece. But Hynaken, you already know. We appreciate you.
All right, no
Hip-Hop Dinner Now, Hynaken. Let's go. We Talking Magazine. We out.
Boom.